What is going on, guys? Zanbono here, and today I'm bringing you guys a video showing you some gameplay from Madden 17 franchise mode, where I'm going to be doing my own fantasy draft, and I'm going to be doing this with the Miami Dolphins because that is my favorite team, and I'm going to be an owner, so that way I can, if I want to, maybe relocate the team, and I can basically have full control over the team and the franchise in general. So for this fantasy draft, we're going to show you guys the first 20 picks or so, and then we're going to jump into the first game of the season. I'm skipping a lot of the little stuff here, so you guys can just basically see the stuff that's important to you. So we're going to look through the first few picks here. As you can see, Cam Newton, Russell Wilson, Andrew Luck, and Aaron Rodgers were all taken off the board early. Khalil Mack was the first non-quarterback taken, followed by Tyrann Mathieu, Von Miller, Justin Houston, and J.J. Watt actually went 19th, which was kind of surprising to me. So when we come up here at the 20th pick, we're going to look and see who are the best players available. Now, with my first pick, because all the elite quarterbacks are taken, I'm going to wait up for a while on a quarterback. I want a home run hitting guy, a guy who can come up and just make big plays and be a game changer for me. And so, to me, it came down between Antonio Brown and Julio Jones. But Julio Jones has the height and the jumping ability and can make as many good plays as anybody in the league. So I went with Julio to start off my draft because I just figured he's probably the best playmaker that I could have picked at that spot, 20th overall. So here in the second round, I'm a firm believer in building a team through the trenches. So I'm looking through the defensive line. I played defensive line back when I played football. It's an important position to me, both defensive end and defensive tackle. So I decided to go with Ndamukong Suh here in the second to be able to stop the run. And he can also get after the quarterback as well through the pass rush game. So I thought he'd be a great addition to the team in the second round, and also he is a true Miami Dolphin now. So here in the third, again, we're going to probably stick within the trenches. I think Michael Bennett would be a great addition off the edge here. He's going to be able to get after the quarterback and also stop the run, similar to Ndamukong Suh, and I think they'll be a great pair together on the line. So in the fourth round, we're now looking at a premium position. We need a guy who can go out there at a very important position and get the job done. And as you can tell, I'm going defense heavy here at the beginning, and that's because I feel like defense is harder to play in Madden than offense. You can make more plays on offense with less talent than you can on defense. So I went with Jonathan Joseph because I thought he had great skills there. I believe he had 97 man coverage, which was pretty incredible, and he was pretty fast as well. So back in the fifth round, we're back to the defensive line. That's three of my picks in the top 5 picks, all on the defensive line here with Linval Joseph. He's a Viking, and I think he's a really, really good defensive tackle who'll be able to stop the run. Him and Ndamukong Suh should hopefully shut down the run game if anything tries to come inside the tackles. So in the sixth round, we're sticking on defense once again. As you can see, we picked one offensive player so far through the first 6 rounds. We're going to go here with a linebacker. We need somebody else in our front 7 to help clean up tackles. So we're going to go with the Panther Thomas Davis. I thought he played really well last year, and I think his stats looked pretty good in this game, so I decided to pick him up there in the 6th. In the 7th, I saw that there was a guy left on the board that I really liked, and that was Derek Johnson, the middle linebacker for the Kansas City Chiefs. Derek Johnson and Thomas Davis should be a really, really good duo there in the middle. So right now we have, 5 of our front 7 already solidified within the first 7 picks of the draft. So we should have a pretty solid front 7, which is really important, and we have a good cornerback there as well. So with the 8th pick, I took the best overall player, Marshall Yanda. He's a great guard who can pass block and run block, and it should be able to open up some things on offense for us, especially when you don't have a great quarterback. You're going to need good protection. So here at running back, I was trying to debate between Jamal Charles and LaShawn McCoy, but I think Jamal Charles just has a little bit extra speed, a little bit extra elusiveness and shiftiness out of the backfield, and he's a great pass catcher, so I went with him to be my second big playmaker on offense. To shore up the other guard position, I went with Zach Martin, and my left tackle is Jason Peters. Like I said, win through the trenches, so I have 3 offensive linemen now, 3 defensive linemen. So we're really focusing through these first 11 rounds on making sure we get guys on the inside. So here in the 12th round, we're going to go back to the defensive side of the ball. You want a guy in the back lines who, if anything gets past us, we know he can be able to clean up a play or he can cover a lot of ground quickly. And I think Kenny Vaccaro has some good speed, some good acceleration, and he should be able to cover a lot of ground and not a whole lot of time. So right here, we picked Kenny Vaccaro in the 12th round. Into the 13th round, we are back to the trenches, as you guys love, and we decided to go with a right tackle. And I was trying to debate between a few of the guys here at the top, Phil Loadholt, Ryan Schrader, and Riley Reif, and I went with Ryan Schrader here because I thought his 90 pass block was pretty impressive. One of the other guys had a 90 impact block, and I almost picked him because of that, but I really like the pass blocking that I'm going to get on the right side of the line because there's some pretty elite pass rushers that'll be rushing from that side, and I want to be able to shut them down. So, again, back to the offensive line. This is our final starter. I always like to go get my 5 offensive linemen early because you can never have too good of an offensive line. Just ask the Dallas Cowboys. So I went with Ryan Khalil as my center. So the offensive line is finished up now. We are in round 15. And we're going back to the other safety position. You need a center fielder. You need your guy, as John Gruden calls him, your road runner. You need a guy in the middle of the field that, again, can cover a lot of ground, just like Kenny Vaccaro. But the thing about Kenny Vaccaro is, because he plays the strong safety, he's probably going to be playing up in the box a lot more often. The free safety is going to be the guy who's going to be in coverage a lot, so you need a guy with good coverage skills. So I went with D'Angelo Hall there, a seasoned veteran who should be able to come down with some interceptions and make some big plays there on the defense. The 16th pick, I wanted a fast, tall receiver to pair with Julio, and I got Josh Doctson. Josh Doctson was actually my favorite receiver in the entire draft this last year. So back to defense again. We need another corner to pair with Jonathan Joseph. So we went with another veteran, went with Leon Hall. I thought he had some pretty good stats, and he would be able to make some plays there on defense and shore up the passing game. 18th pick. We need to finish off the defensive line. As you notice, we had only picked 3. We picked him early, but we need another defensive end. I went with Daniil Hunter, the former LSU defensive end. He's really long, but has really, really good speed for a defensive end. So I hope he could be able to close some distance pretty quickly on defense. Finishing up our front 7, we're going to get an outside linebacker with Ashley Palmer. Tight end position, we don't have a tight end yet, so I just sorted by speed. I want a guy who can create some separation, but also can catch and go get the ball, and I thought Luke Wilson would probably be the ideal guy to fit the bill. So he has good speed, as you can see there, and he can run some routes and he can catch some balls, and he has pretty good value, I think, there in the 20th round. So we're going to sim now so you guys can see who I picked at quarterback. You see there aren't very many big names there, but I have a surprise for you guys. It's the best player in the history of the NFL, Johnny the GOAT Manziel. So 23rd pick there, Johnny Manziel is going to be our starting quarterback. I don't think you could have gotten any better even with the first overall pick. So we're going to sim the rest of the draft here so we can jump into this for time's sake. I'm going to show you guys maybe a couple little the loading menus they have here. So this is kind of cool. It's called the big decision in your team needs. It shows you that your depth chart for the quarterback isn't very good, and it gives you some of the practice squad players and free agents available, or guys on the trade block that you can go get that play that position. They were wrong though, because they said I had a D at quarterback, but I have Johnny Manziel, so really I have an A+. To start the weekly training up there, it's kind of cool the way they do training this year. It's not like last year. That's completely revamped, I think, and you can focus on like 3 players at a time and do specific drills and get bonuses in games because of those drills. So before we start week 1, I did sim the preseason, but you can see Jamal Charles must have got hurt in the preseason, but it looks like he'll be eligible to play in week 1, even though there's going to be a higher risk for re-injury. But I decided to stick him into the game because with Johnny playing quarterback, we might have some rocky moments here and there. You want to make sure you have stability at the running back position. My backup running back was also Justin Forsett, but it looked like he got hurt as well. So we're going to have to ride this out with a hurt Jamal Charles. Looks like we're playing the Seahawks week 1, just like the Dolphins will be in real life, on the road. Their quarterback, I believe, in this game is Kirk Cousins, and they'll be wearing some throwback uniforms that look kind of neat, but we're just wearing the classic away uniforms. Again, we're playing the Play the Moment series here, so what this basically does is on big 3rd downs, big 4th downs, red zone opportunities, just basically the key moments throughout the game. It'll auto-sim until there's a big moment, and then it'll let me jump in and play. So I did this for time's sake so you guys can, 1, get a feel of what the Play the Moment mode looks like, and also we can also fit a whole game in the same video here with the draft, and it doesn't take too long. So there you can see some of those throwback uniforms the Seattle Seahawks had on. You can see the Dolphins' classic away uniforms they wear now. A lot of people said they used to like the old Dolphins logo better and the old Dolphins uniforms better. I totally disagree. I'm probably in the minority there, but I think these new uniforms are amazing. I think they have some of the best uniforms in the NFL now, and like I said, probably in the minority, but that's all right. So I sped up the simulations there. We're going to come in here on defense for our first play of the game. Halfway through the first quarter, it's 3rd and 7, and they're in the red zone, so we have to try and get a big stop here in the red zone. I'm using Michael Bennett, and on their first play, playing against me, I have blown coverage, and they get a touchdown. So that's probably a poor play call by myself. That's okay, though. It happens every once in a while. So we're now down 7-0, and we have to make a little bit of a comeback. We're here on 3rd and 2 on offense for the first time, and Johnny's going to roll out. He's going to pass it to the tight end there, and we get the first down. I believe that was Deion Sims. So we're going to play another moment here. Same drive. Looks like we lost a yard after that big play. And we're running a pretty similar play-action play here the next play. I'm looking for the tight end again on that little post route, but I wasn't quite able to get it because the corner made a good break on the ball and he knocked it away. So we weren't able to come up with the first. But we'll be kicking a field goal here, and I do have Steven Gostkowski, the Patriots kicker, so probably the best kicker in the game. So I'm pretty fortunate there on special teams. I also have Pat McAfee, maybe the best punter in the game. So great special teams unit there. We're suing again. We're back on offense now, and you can see it's 10-3. They got a field goal, and we're getting close to the 2-minute warning here on offense, so we need to make a play. I noticed there was no safety over the top on the left side, so I tried to send Josh Doxson deep. I just wasn't able to come down with the ball, but I liked the one-on-one opportunity he had, especially with the speed and with the height that he has. But we're stuck having to kick a field goal. Gostkowski, this is a 54-yarder, but he's able to bang it through, which makes it a 10-6 ball game. We're close to the 2-minute warning, so this is a pretty good situation to be in. So we're simming again, and let's see what happens here. We're on defense with a minute and a half left going into halftime, and we have to try and defend them near the red zone. Let's see if we can create some pressure here. We finally did get to the quarterback and knock the ball out. The only problem is he had forever in the pocket to throw it, so that's kind of on him. We get the ball back with a minute 15, and I tried to run the ball because Jamal Charles can break free at any time with his speed. We just weren't quite able to get past the defensive end. Again, I see there's only one safety, so I'm sending Julio deep on this play, and Johnny rears back and finds him deep for the touchdown. That is exactly why I drafted Julio. He even showed off a little bit at the end and was not able to get caught. That's why I picked him. He's fast, he can jump, he can release off the press coverage. There's a perfect play design right there, and it's kind of like the video I put up just the other day talking about when to know to throw the deep ball. So on this next play, we're rolling out with Johnny Manziel, and he rushes in for the touchdown, and not only did he get the touchdown, but he hurt a defender in the process, and that, my friends, is why we drafted him in the 23rd round and why he's referred to as the GOAT. So here in the third quarter, we're going to try a screen pass to Jamal Charles, but they sniffed it out pretty well. I wasn't quite able to get the first, but we have an injury timeout, and this time it is Johnny Manziel. It could not have been worse to see that. So we don't get him back for the rest of the game. Maybe in the next video we'll disclose what his injury was and how long he'll be out for, but we're going to have to make do with Brandon Whedon, I believe, for the rest of the game. But we're up 27-20 here, and they're going to be doing a lot of hurry up offense while I'm on defense here. So we're going to try and show you as much of this drive as I can. So they tried to throw it down into the flat there, but I was able to stop him short of the first down. Now remember, there's about 2.5 minutes left. Both teams have all their timeouts. 2nd and 6, and they're down by 7 on the 35-yard line. So I need to create some pressure here. He's able to drop back and have a long time in the pocket again, and this time he finds his receiver for a good first down. He's been killing my defense all game long. Looks like he has almost 350 passing yards, so they're in the red zone now with a first down at the 2-minute warning. Not a good situation for me to be in, but we were able to get to him and create some pressure and force him to throw the ball away. So no, we didn't get a turnover or a sack, but him throwing the ball away was one of the next best things that we could have had happen. So we're lining up here on 2nd and 10, and we still have a lot of time to go. Tried to sniff out the screen there, but I wasn't quite able to read it in time. I did recognize it, just it was too late, but I was lucky enough to have a couple guys out there in the flats in position to stop it, so they did lose a yard on it. So now we're at 3rd and long, and they're still down by 7, and he finds his guy short, but the bump there and the tackle at the knees, we were able to keep him from getting the first down. So we have 4th and 2. So this play right here could essentially be a game ender. They always ask me to flip my defense, and I never want to. I like the chess match of trying to figure out what they're going to do and flipping it myself. So got a late jump off there on the line, but unfortunately he was able to find his receiver out there in the flat for a really short gain, and he just kind of stumbles and falls on his butt over the first down line. So that's unfortunate for us because now is a minute and 10 seconds left, running clock, 1st and goal. So I'm going to use Ndamukong Suh and try and rush over the guard, but I just can't seem to disengage. We got lucky he threw the ball there out of the back of the end zone when the pressure came from his backside because he did have a receiver that was wide open in the back of the end zone. He just missed his target pretty badly. 2nd and 10, or 2nd and goal, I'm sorry, 2nd and 7, 2nd and goal. We are, looks like they have a weird formation there. So we're going to try, he's trying to run the ball, and he just powers through about 5 defenders for a 6-yard gain and gets down to the 1-yard line. So now it's 3rd and 1 with a running clock, under a minute left. Let's see what happens here. They get a false start. That's got to kill their drive. But for me, that's about as good of a thing that could have happened. So now we are here on defense, and we have to just make a stop 2 times. That's all we need. So we managed to finally get a sack after all this time of hitting them late on the play or not being able to quite disengage with their offensive linemen. We finally get the pressure we wanted to get, and we are able to get the sack. So 4th down, this is probably the last play of the game, depending on what happens here. They could tie it and send it to overtime. He throws it, but he drops it in the end zone. So it looks like we're probably going to wrap this up here. We're going to auto-sim to the end and make sure that we do get the win. Let's see. And we do. We went on the road and we stole a win from the Seattle Seahawks. That leaves us 1-0 to open the season. So there's a preview of what a fantasy draft this year in Madden looks like and what play of the moment looks like. So I'm glad you guys watched the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like the video and subscribe. There'll be a lot more of these videos to come, and next week we'll show a full gameplay of Week 2 with this team that I drafted. So thank you guys very much for watching. Have a great day.